There's a rule here, a safety rule. Love your neighbor as yourself. Not the man at random that you meet or see, but your neighbor. Who is neighbor? Who was neighbor unto him that was in need? The one that rescued him. Who rescued you? That's the one you should be treating as yourself. Sure, you love your enemies, but you don't love them as yourself. You care for all life, but not as much as you care for yourself. But when it comes to the person that rescues you, that's the one you should be sharing with. And if you're not, my goodness, what's the matter with you? Surely their rescuing you should call forth a concern for them that's as great as the concern for yourself, just in gratitude. Else you'll be condemned for your lack of gratitude, self-condemned. Fancy not treating another as important as yourself who has rescued you from, in the case of the chap on the road who'd been beaten and robbed and lay dying, rescued by the Samaritan. The Samaritan is the one that should be treated by you as yourself. You enlarge yourself by including him in it. So we have, is it the fourth commandment, where, honour your father and your mother. Honour them. Why? Because they've given you life. They've rescued you from non-existence into life. They are yourself. Now we in large measure have not done this, of course, and we should. So, in a milder way, we take those we're in true fellowship with, those that matter to us, and we extend help to each other. We are mindful increasingly of their welfare. They matter to us. And we see that we matter to them too. And if we don't matter to them, then you're not in fellowship with them. And you should not be extending the same love towards them. It's inappropriate. But you should be neighbour to anyone who's desperate. So you don't fritter away your money on providing cars for the poor. But you do rescue those who need rescue. From death, from impending death. The guy on the side of the road, if you don't help him and nobody else does, He's going to die. So you come to his rescue. And he should love you as himself. Not you love him as yourself. You just rescue him. Find sufficient resources from yourself to rescue him back into life. Not to rescue him up to the same standard of living as you. You know, the Samaritan didn't attach himself to the guy for life to make sure he's cared for as much as the Samaritan cares for himself. But the guy who's rescued, he should love the Samaritan as himself. Do you see it's one-sided now? So, the wealthy like Al Capone start to pick up incredible loyalty from some people. And you forget this. You know, these autocratic people have some people in total loyalty to them because they have rescued them from death, from despair, absolute despair. You know, you've got someone who's worried about his kids and family and who's in poverty, and someone like Al Capone helps. Oh, creates such loyalty to the man. So, bearing in mind this reaction and this one-sidedness, those who you truly help as you go down the ladder of privilege, if there's any godliness in them, they respond, and there is in all men. They respond by wanting to love you back. You see, this commandment of Jesus to love your neighbor, the one that rescues you, as yourself, is what's naturally in possibly all of us. It's a command that's so easy to keep because we spontaneously want to, don't we? My goodness, he rescued me and I was desperate. And the relief to me of being rescued, I am so grateful. I treat him as myself. You build this tremendous loyalty. Oh, well, that's just in the natural. That's just in, we haven't presupposed God or anything here, have we? Let's now put God on the scene. An all-loving, all-powerful, wonderful person that dwells in you. How does he respond when you rescue? When you enlarge yourself to include others? How does he respond when simply you were rescued and now are devoted to the Samaritan because he rescued you and you're filled with gratitude? How does God respond in you? Is he pleased that you've enlarged yourself to include at least one other, and that your loyalty binds you to them? Wow! How's that for being right with God? You're on track, aren't you? To love your neighbour as yourself, you're on track. And we look to God to take you the rest of the way. whatever that is, and God's provision in this world and the next, treasure in heaven. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Now let us just for a moment look at the one-sidedness. This one who's rescued loves you, the Samaritan, as himself. He's put himself now into full fellowship with you. He's treating you as himself, equal with himself, just as much. Well, what's your natural response? You've got a devoted person here. You're not going to waste that, are you? What's your response now to him? To do likewise. Yeah, I mean, you've got this companion, this angel who just treats you as important to himself as himself. You're not going to waste that, are you? So you respond likewise back. We've made a bond, haven't we, in heaven? That's what life's meant to be, making these bonds. Now, my 3 wives have loved me. They've rescued me into great happiness, fullness of life. Sorry, they're not 3 wives all at once, it's one after the other, you know. Now, what's my response? Well, they've detached themselves from me. They have divorced me, all 3. Not me, them. I've no desire to lose, quite the reverse, desperate at losing each one. Quite desolate and desperate. But for the grace of God, wouldn't have come through. But how do I still feel towards them? They have rescued me. I'm in fullness of life today because of their love and their care, in their time, in their season. I therefore love them as myself. Sure, they've gone. They didn't go too well either. They were pretty nasty in the going. And I was not. I know I was not. I was looking to God. I know that in my heart. So how do I still feel towards them? Do they cancel what they've done by what they subsequently did to harm me? I don't think so. I still owe them. Not even owe them. It's not that, you know, it's not that I owe. It's that I still care for them. I know it. I care for them all 3 as myself. They may not want that care, of course, or they may call on it in a way from time to time. Don't know. Certainly the last one does, continues to ask me for this, that and the other. And I respond. I mean, not foolishly, because I know they may be in a rather zero-sum game. No, not quite that, that's the wrong phrase. They may be quite selfishly asking me and not loving me at all at the moment, in the case of Christine. Well, she might be, she might not be, I don't know. But that's not the point. I meet her need where I reasonably can. Do I love her as myself? Yes, but I am also aware that she's not in entirely favourable mode towards me. After all, she'd come back if she was. So there is a damage to the relationship, isn't there? How should I be in the circumstances then? Well, I think it still holds. I do love them as myself. But I may find myself in an inferior position to them, and therefore I would ask of them, and they may or may not give it. Do you see, loving someone as yourself is not to take your own welfare down to zero, but only your own welfare down to equally as important as theirs. So my current ex, so to speak, asked me to pay for certain things as regards Aria, and I say no, our daughter. I say no, you're better off than me. That's your responsibility. I'm not meeting that need. If on the other hand she's upset about something, then I'm there because I'm concerned. She's unhappy compared to me, and I want to put that right. Do you see? So we are seeking an equality. I am seeking, anyway, she's not. I'm seeking an equality because she counts to me as much as myself. Not more than, not less than. Right, that's the answer. Thank you, Heavenly Father. So, to love your neighbour as yourself is not to run down your resources to zero for their benefit, but to share your resources that they are not poorer than you. In whatever the dimension we're considering. I mean, the obvious ones: finance, well-being, food, you know. So we don't give to them where they have more. But in a case like she's upset, my ex-wife, and I'm not, of course, I come to her rescue. Say, how are you? What can I do to help? You know, what does she need here? What can I do to rescue? Because I'm treating her as myself. If, on the other hand, she has more of something than me, and it's easier then to think in terms of, say, the wealth dimension, money. It's pointless me giving money to her. She has more than me anyway. If I am to treat her as myself, if anything, I would ask of her. She's not feeling devoted to me at all. She'd just say push off, I should think. But you know, you get the message, don't you? That is to love someone as yourself is not to be a doormat to them, but to love them as yourself, just as much as you love yourself. Not less, not more. Thank you, Heavenly Father. So we find in the natural that those that rescue from dire straits others start to get very loyal and helpful people around them. Life has an amazing insurance policy. As a natural reward. How much more if God exists? How does it call out the love of God to you when He sees you rescuing, that you're neighbour to those in desperate need? Couldn't be better, could it? Thank you, Heavenly Father.